Just a generation ago, owning a home in America was considered normal. People in their 20s and 30s could work a stable job, save money, and eventually buy a house to build a future. But today, millions of young Americans feel completely locked out of the housing market. Even people with decent salaries, college degrees, and full-time careers are struggling just to afford rent, let alone buy a home. So what happened to the American dream? Why does homeownership suddenly feel impossible for an entire generation? In today's video, we're breaking down the real economic reasons young Americans can't afford houses anymore, why housing prices exploded across the United States, and what this crisis means for the future of the middle class. Welcome back to The Dollar Pilot. Today we're talking about one of the biggest financial frustrations facing younger Americans right now, the housing market. For millions of people in their 20s and 30s, buying a home no longer feels difficult. It feels impossible. And honestly, the numbers explain why. Over the last several years, home prices across America skyrocketed. Cities that were once considered affordable suddenly became extremely expensive. Even smaller towns experienced massive price increases after the pandemic housing boom. At the same time, mortgage interest rates climbed sharply as the Federal Reserve raised rates to fight inflation. This created a brutal combination: higher home prices and higher monthly mortgage payments. In many areas, monthly mortgage costs nearly doubled compared to just a few years ago. And the reality is simple: wages did not rise fast enough to keep up. This is one reason why so many young Americans feel financially trapped despite working full-time jobs. The problem starts with affordability. In previous generations, the average home price was much closer to the average annual income. Today, that gap has become enormous in many parts of the United States. A young professional earning $70,000 or even $100,000 per year may still struggle to qualify for a home in cities like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Austin, Seattle, or Denver. After taxes, rent, student loans, groceries, transportation, insurance, and healthcare costs, saving for a down payment becomes incredibly difficult. And then there's student debt. Millions of younger Americans entered adulthood already carrying large student loan balances. Monthly loan payments reduce their ability to save money or qualify for mortgages. Previous generations often didn't face the same level of education debt while entering the housing market. Another major issue is inventory. America simply does not have enough affordable homes available right now. After the 2008 housing crash, home construction slowed significantly for years. Builders focused more on expensive homes and luxury developments instead of affordable starter homes for middle-class buyers. As demand increased and supply remained limited, prices naturally surged higher. Large investors also changed the market. Institutional investment firms and private equity groups started buying thousands of single-family homes across America, especially after the pandemic. In some cities, investors competed directly against regular families trying to buy homes. Cash buyers often beat young Americans relying on traditional mortgages. This made competition even harder. At the same time, rent prices exploded, and this creates another trap. Young Americans spend so much money on rent that saving for a home becomes harder every year. In many cities, people are spending over 30% to 50% of their income just on housing costs alone. That leaves very little room for savings or investing. Social media also created unrealistic expectations around housing. Online, people constantly see luxury apartments, dream homes, expensive renovations, and influencer lifestyles that make normal financial progress feel slow or disappointing. But the truth is, many Americans quietly struggle financially behind the scenes. Now, here's something important people don't always realize. The housing market is deeply connected to the overall economy. Low interest rates after the pandemic made borrowing cheap. That pushed home demand higher. Remote work allowed people to move into new cities. Investors rushed into real estate. At the same time, inflation increased construction costs, labor costs, and material prices. All of those factors combined into one massive housing affordability crisis. And now many younger Americans are delaying major life milestones because of it. People are postponing marriage, children, moving out, or long-term financial planning because housing costs consume so much of their income. This is one reason economic anxiety is growing among younger generations in the United States. Now the big question is, will housing prices crash? The honest answer is that nobody truly knows. Some experts believe prices may cool in certain areas due to higher mortgage rates and slowing demand. Others argue America still has a long-term housing shortage that could keep prices elevated. But even if prices stop rising rapidly, affordability may still remain difficult unless incomes grow significantly or interest rates fall. And perhaps the most important lesson here is this: young Americans are not failing financially because they are lazy. The economy itself has changed dramatically. Housing became more expensive, debt became more common, and the cost of living increased faster than many people expected. This is why financial discipline matters more than ever. More young Americans are focusing on budgeting, investing early, avoiding unnecessary debt, building emergency savings, and increasing income streams because they realize the traditional path to wealth looks very different today. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe financial education is one of the most powerful tools people can have in today's economy. Because once you understand how housing, inflation, interest rates, and investing actually work together, you stop blaming yourself for an economic system that has fundamentally changed. The American dream is not necessarily dead, but it is definitely becoming more expensive. Stay informed, stay disciplined, and remember, long-term financial freedom is built through patience, strategy, and understanding the economic world around you.